Hey y'all, Sarah Luhu here, and we are back again with Steins Gate. So, last episode we started up the true ending. We wrapped up the main part of the game through chapter 10, and basically, fell in love with Kurisu. Had some sweet moments with her. She agreed to, the fact that both her and Mayuri couldn't survive at the same time, so she wanted us to save Mayuri. And then we undid the D-mail as she came bursting in the door to tell us that she loved us, and everything was undone. Kurisu was made to die once more, and we continued on our lives. We dismantled the IBN, we destroyed the phone wave, and then Suzuha called up during the end credits and was like, "Hey, meet me on the roof of Radicon." And this Suzuha is from a new future that has been created, where World War III happens. Without CERN, controlling everything with their time machine, the world has basically descended into chaos, fighting over the ability to time travel, and nuclear war has wiped out most of the population, and the world is dying. And she wants to, kind of prevent this, understandably, and so here she is. All in tactical gear and with a time machine that goes both to the future and the past. Perfectly controlled. I glare at Suzuha, though I know it's absurd, part of me blames her. Why is this happening? You lied to me. You said a peaceful future was waiting for us on the Beta World line. We saved Mayuri, we changed the future. And now, after everything we did, Suzuha appears before me once again to say it wasn't enough. We're at a point of great divergence when... I know that already. Then you understand. 5.7 billion people are going to die, and the survivors will be left with no future, no hope. I came here to prevent that, and to do what I need your... And to do that, I need your help, Uncle Okura. I refuse! Huh? I reject her plea outright. Suzuha looks hurt, betrayed, like an abandoned puppy. How dare she look at me that way? I borrow Mayuri's shoulder and struggle back to my feet. I came here from the Alpha World line. I had to sacrifice the girl I loved to make it this far. I can't go back. Not to the world line where Mayuri dies. I don't care if 5.7 billion people die. I won't let her. I won't let Kurisu's sacrifice be in vain. One person versus 5.7 billion. They can't be compared. Suzuha is staring at me in disbelief. Mayuri and Daru clearly don't know what to say. I haven't told them what happened, so they can't understand. Wait, you mean you've been to another attractor field? Wow, so that's the power of reading Steiner. How do you know about that? Dad told me, and I've met you before, Uncle Okurin. In the future, that is. You've met me? I see. So, the me of that attractor field went to the past, too. Faint smile flickers across her face. Then she looks at me with renewed intensity. Uncle Okurin, I know you don't want to, but... No, I won't let Kurisu's death be in vain. I won't let Mayuri die.
Huh? Mayushi dies?
Yeah, forgot to mention that one. By Kurisu, I assume you mean Mukise Kurisu. Listen, Uncle. Let's say, hypothetically, that the only way to change the future of this world line is to go to July 28, 2010, the day Mukise Kurisu dies, and save her. What would you do? What? Shock ripples through my body. What'd she say? Save Kurisu? But how? We no longer have the phone wave or the time leap, but we got a time machine back there, don't we, dingus? And even if we did, I can never leap that far back. Ah, of course. I look over Suzuha's shoulder at the object disguised as a satellite. Your time machine. We could use your time machine? Came all the way from 2036. It should have no trouble going back a mere 3 weeks. Even better, this machine can do what Alpha Suzuha's could not. It can travel to the future. I can go to July 28th, save Kurisu, and return to the present. And skip the Death Flag Day. Unless she dies before we can get her on the time machine. No D-mails, no time leaps. Genuine physical time travel. I can't refuse. I literally can't refuse. I saw this time machine once before, on July 28th, that fateful day. Shortly before Kurisu was killed, I saw it standing in this very spot, as sure as it's standing before me now. There's only one thing that can mean. It has already been established that this time machine will appear on that day, in this place. Even before I sent the first email, my participation was assured. Even the thought of turning Suzuha down now is meaningless. Nothing is coincidence. Everything is inevitable. The revelation makes me dizzy. It's like I don't have the tiniest atom of free will. Like my every action from the moment of my birth was planned for me by some cosmic force. The world line I'm aiming for isn't, what do you call it, the alpha world line? It's not that. What we're aiming for is the space between attractor fields. The space between. There lies a world line unaffected by any attractor field. A world line known as Steins Gate. What? But that's the tuning name I pulled out of my ass. It doesn't even mean anything. I was told that Steins Gate is a brand new world line. One no one has ever observed. But didn't someone have to observe it to know it's there? Nope. It's never been observed. That's what makes it new. But Dad and Uncle Okarin were able to calculate its divergence. Negative 0.086109% relative to the current world line. That's where we'll find Steins Gate. And to reach that world line, we have to save... and to reach that world line, we have to save Kurisu? Exactly. She's the key to averting World War III. As long as she lives, the war won't happen. Or at the very least, 5.7 billion people won't die. Why? Huh? Why Kurisu? I mean, I know she's a genius, but are you telling me she's a hero who will save 5.7 billion people? I don't know. You don't know and you expect me to go along with this? Hey, I'm just following Dad's plan. And apparently you're the one who came up with it in the first place. If there's a flaw in your plan, then we're all in trouble. Sounds like you didn't hear it from me, is that right? You passed away 10 years ago? 15 years from now, that is. In the year 2025. The same result as on the Alpha World line. So, I don't know the whole story. What I do know is that my dad continued your work after you died. He built this time machine all by himself just to see your plan through. That's my super hacker. We love you, Daru! Flaws and all. He must have hacked into CERN and stolen their research, then used it to construct his own time machine. On the Alpha World line, CERN killed Daru before he could complete the machine. But here, Daru was able to perfect his design. That's why it can go back to the future. At least, that seems the most likely explanation. Uncle Okarin? Like I said, Steins Gate is unobserved. Nobody knows what future awaits us there. There's a chance that a dystopia rises from the ashes of World War III. There's a chance that Makise Kurisu dies just 2 days after you save her. There's a chance that you don't die in 2025, but next week. But there's also a chance that when 2036 comes, there will be no dystopia, no world ravaged by war. There's a chance that everyone, including Makise Kurisu, will still be alive. There's a chance that a wonderful future awaits. At least, it won't be the future I came from, and it won't be the future the other me came from. That much is certain. Is an unknown future really for the best? I would hate for the ending role to say, despite your best efforts, you made everything worse. It's completely unknown, completely unpredictable. Kurisu can't be saved. I know that. Even if we change the past, convergence will ensure her death, just as it did for Mayuri. It's impossible. There's no way this plan can succeed. In the end, fate will win, as it always has. Give it a shot, man. You gotta at least try. But if you're willing to try, if you're willing to come with me to July 28th, then take my hand. I look down at Suzuha's hand. Her skin is rough, her palm calloused. This cool, collected, unsmiling Suzuha comes from a ruined world, from the ashes of a war that claimed over 5 billion lives. I can only imagine what she's been through. Kurisu. How I have dreamt of saving her. I would do anything, anything to change her fate. But how do I know this invitation won't lead me into another maze of despair?
Mayushi doesn't understand any of this. But this Mikise person was very important to you, wasn't she? I think you should go for it.
5.7 billion people, man. I can't even imagine. But don't sweat the small stuff. Just save the girl and you're set for life. It's the dream of every otaku. Mayuri and Daru offer me encouragement. But it's not enough to overcome my doubt. The Mikise Kurisu we knew, Lab Mem 004, is already gone. Even if I save her on this world line, she won't remember any of the time she shared with us. So there's no point. I won't bend time to my convenience, not again. I'm not God, I don't have the right. If I try, I'll just end up making things worse. This is literally the universe in the form of Suzuha offering you a chance, man. Come on. Risa pleads with me to stop. And yet, I look at Suzuha's outstretched hand. And then, with resignation, I grasp it firmly. I'm in. Try though I may to fight it, this choice was made for me on July 28th, the moment I laid eyes upon this time machine. Fate wants me to take your hand. Who am I to argue? I'm not at all confident that I can save Kurisu. How many times have I tried to resist fate only to fail? I don't want to see her die. But if there is a chance, however small, that she can be saved, I have to try. Even if I can't take back what we had, I want more than anything to save her. We're going to do it. Let's go. Thank you, Uncle Okuren. Hop aboard. Can this thing even fit 2 people? Of course it can. It's my dad's masterpiece. Daru, your daughter really loves you. I don't get it, but stop calling me Dad. I'd rather be your big brother if you know what I mean. No, Daru, no.
Be sure to come back, okay? I don't want you to disappear, okay?
Not in a million years, Mayuri. I'm not going to another world. It's just a short hop to the past. I pat Mayuri's arm reassuringly. Then I follow Suzuha to the time machine hatch and slip inside. Now straight to the past. The interior is cylindrical and surprisingly tight. When I sit down on the ledge that rims the cylinder, it puts me face to face with Suzuha. Kind of like one of those giant teacup rides. There are a few controls I expected, or there are fewer controls than I expected. The inside definitely looks more refined than what I saw of Suzuha's time machine on the Alpha World line. But one thing remains the same. The time display panel, a black screen with red lettering. I guess that's just Daru's taste. Give me your phone. When I hand it over, Suzuha casually tosses it out the hatch. Hey! It's better to not bring it. It'll cause interference. Interference? Oh, I see. We're going to July 28th, so there'll be 2 of me, and if I bring it, 2 of my phones. I guess it could be a problem if I got a call or something. So, time travelers really do need to be careful about what they bring to the past. Shut the hatch. I hear Mayuri and Daru cheering outside. Mayuri caught my phone, thankfully. I give them a final nod, then close the hatch. Silence engulfs us. Suzuha's operating the time display panel. She sets our destination, July 28th, 2010, 11:50 a.m. That should do it. That's cutting it awfully close. I remember that Dr. Nakabachi's presentation began at 12. This time machine can't physically move. Meaning, no matter what time we travel to, we'll always arrive at the same coordinates. In other words, on the roof of Radicon. I mean, it's a little more complicated than that, but there's no time to explain. Anyway, we could leap to the day before the presentation, but if we attract too much attention, they could close Radicon and cancel the presentation. That's why we gotta cut it close. I see. Uncle, this is your first time traveling, right? Okay, first, stop calling me Uncle. And yes, I've made more time leaps than I want. Oh, isn't my first time. Okay, sorry. I've made more time leaps than I want to remember, but I've never time traveled before. Going to John Tidor, the G-forces are pretty strong. You feel like you're being stretched out? Yeah, I wrote that. John Tidor stuff? Right, back when I leapt to 2000? I see. The past has changed back, I suppose, from my point of view. When I was on the Alpha World line, I saw a Tidor post on @channel in real time. On this world line, those posts were made to an English BBS in the year 2000. You don't sound surprised. Nothing can surprise me now. My brain's too busy trying to process all this new information. Feels like it's going to blow. I'll go over the mission one more time. Once we arrive, there will be no time for chit-chat. The objective is to prevent Mikise Kurisu's death. Ever since I returned to this world line, I've avoided all news of Kurisu's murder. I was afraid of setting that result in stone. So I still don't know who killed Kurisu. I don't know how or why she died. I don't know anything at all. If I had known it would come to this, would I have looked things up? I ask myself that question. The answer is no. What about attractor field convergence? That day's a turning point, remember? Meaning the probability of Mikise Kurisu's death is roughly 50%. So convergence won't happen? It may happen, it may not. No, it probably will, but I'm sure there's a loophole somewhere. That loophole is the doorway to Steins Gate. So in the end, it's a gamble. Oh, one more thing. Watch out for Dr. Nakabachi. What do you mean? Remember what I said about World War III? It all started because of something called the Nakabachi paper. Paper Dr. Nakabachi wrote detailing his theory of time travel. But that fraud's theory was just a ripoff of John Tidor's... wait a minute. John Tidor is sitting right in front of me. So it was real. So what Tidor posted on the internet was true? I mixed in some lies, so not many people listened to me at the time. Never thought someone would reevaluate it 10 years later. Looks like he built his theory off what I wrote. Apparently it's almost perfect. Anyway, Dr. Nakabachi was there when Mikise Kurisu was killed, right? So watch out for him. I'm sure he's important to the divergence of this world line. Dr. Nakabachi? Important? I thought he was just some con artist. Ready to go? Fasten your seatbelt. I look underneath my butt to find what looks like a car seatbelt. I wrap it around my waist and fix my body to the seat. Does it, shake a lot? Shake? No, it doesn't shake. You mean it does something else? Wait, is this safe? Well, about to find out. Suzuha leans forward and pushes a bright yellow button on the bottom of the panel. There are no windows, so I can't tell if the time machine is moving. Pardon? It's only 3 weeks, so it shouldn't take more than 2 or 3 minutes. Suzuha fastens her own seatbelt and sighs. When I first left in 1975, it was 6 long hours with nothing to do. I guess time travelers have their own problems. Since it's only a few minutes, we won't bother with the oxygen mask, but just be aware we'll have no oxygen for that duration. You mean I have to hold my breath? Right here. Suzuha points to the center of the cylinder, the space between me and her. There'll be an air pocket. Stick your head inside and you'll have enough oxygen for about 10 minutes. Hey, for argument's sake, what happens if we fail to save Kurisu? There's not much fuel left. We barely had enough to begin with. There's not even enough for a return trip to 2036. So if we fail to change the world line, then I'll be stuck in this time. But don't worry, as long as we're just traveling 3 weeks each way, we still have enough for 2 round trips. So what she's really saying is that we only have 2 chances. Whoop. Not again. Come on now. Ah, there it goes. It freezes like that. I don't know why. But then, how do you plan to get back to 2036? I don't. Once we reach Steins Gate, I won't have any reason to come to this time in the first place, will I? Causality will be reconstructed. I should disappear from this time, since I'll probably be living peacefully in 2036. But that all depends on you, Uncle Okaren. Her tone is light, but her expression is serious. This is the first time in 2 weeks that we've spoken, but I just now realized something about her. Suzuha's pretty reckless, isn't she? Oh shoot, look where she comes from. Suddenly, there's a zapping sound, and countless faint silver lights start floating around the cylinder. They look like moth dust or powdered snow. The lights slowly change colors. Violet, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red. Back to silver, violet, blue. The colors of the rainbow. I feel pressure on my entire body, similar to the sensation you feel when you ascend in an elevator. In an elevator, you feel as if you're being pulled downwards, but instead the time machine feels like it's pulling at my back. The feeling of pressure quickly increases. It starts to feel like I'm falling horizontally. I've never experienced anything like this. It's so uncomfortable, I want to scream. The strangest thing is that the time machine itself isn't shaking. In fact, it doesn't seem to be moving at all. There's no noise, no vibration. It's eerie. The pulling sensation grows even stronger. I can hear my bones creaking. I imagine my body flattened like a pancake. It's not a pleasant thought. It's getting worse. I look at Suzuha. She has her eyes shut and her jaw clenched tight. I can no longer move. Feels like my back is glued to the wall. My vision begins to warp. And within my warping vision, the powder of light still shifts through the colors of the rainbow. It's strangely beautiful, like something out of a painting. And still, I keep falling. Where's it taking me? Through a tunnel in space-time? All I know is that I'm falling. Suddenly, everything goes dark. I try to scream, but even my voice falls away. Doesn't even reach my own ears. It's gravity! There's an intense gravitational distortion behind me. And I'm falling towards it. Did we make it? My vision slowly recovers. The smell of ozone fills my nostrils. Suzuha takes a deep breath and unfastens her seatbelt. We're here. Okay, I gulp for air. Did I really just travel through time? If so, this is July 28th. The day Kurisu and I first met. The day I sent the first email. The day it all began. Suzuha takes out a digital watch. It's a fairly old-fashioned design. I bought it in 1975, but it's not even 3 years old yet. This is where an uninformed person would say, in Japanese, please. Suzuha sets the watch to the correct time, then hands it to me. The display reads 11:51. Nakabachi's presentation starts at 12. Let's do this. You keep an eye on Mikise Kurisu and stop whoever tries to kill her. And you, Miss Frickin' Warrior Battle Princess? I'll back you up. Also, remember how I took away your phone? The you of July 28th is here too, meaning there are currently 2 Okabe Rintaros in this world. Whatever you do, don't let your past self see you. It could cause a major time paradox. But Tidor said that couldn't happen. That was a lie, misinformation. Come to think of it, Alpha Suzuha said the stuff she posted about the many worlds interpretation was fake too. Ah, crap, not this again. Should be fine. Okay, good. Got it. Then, let's go. We'll rendezvous at the time machine when it's over. Suzuha finishes her rushed explanation and motions me toward the hatch. I open the hatch, grab the rim, and I squeeze my way out. Suzuha crawls out after me and closes the hatch. You hide. I'll provide a distraction. Suzuha runs up to the emergency door. And then, to my astonishment, she draws her gun and fires at the doorknob. What the fuck, Missy? The door opens easily. That must have broken the lock. Any minute now, a crowd of people will run up these stairs to see what happened. My past self will be among them. I need to hide before they get here. That was a close one. I nearly bumped into myself on the 8th floor landing. Right after I ran downstairs to the 7th floor, I heard footsteps running the other way behind me. Those footsteps were mine, no doubt. It was a near miss. To be safe, I descended to the 4th floor before stopping to take a breath. I take a look around, but there's nobody paying attention to me. I wonder what Suzuha is doing. I'm worried, but I need to focus on my own mission. I must prevent Karisu's death. In about 30 minutes from now, just after Nakabachi's presentation ends, someone will murder her. I know where it happens, in the 8th floor hallway, towards the back of the building, where people rarely go. What I don't know is who stabbed her. Instead of running around and drawing attention to myself, I should just wait at the scene. Let's cool off here for about 5 minutes, and then head over there. If I remember correctly, Karisu tried to talk to me in the assembly hall, but I blew her off and came down here. After that, I tried calling Mayuri, but her phone was off and I couldn't get through, so I went back up to the assembly hall to find her. What time was that? I searched my memories, trying to plot the actions I took on July 28th. It sounded simple when Suzuha said it, but staying away from my past self is going to take more work than I thought. Frustration mounts. I shoved Suzuha's watch into my pockets to quash it. Just then... Excuse me? That voice. I turn around. Ah, Karisu! Karisu! Do I know ya? No. You came down from the roof just now, didn't ya? She looks at me with those beautiful eyes shining with intelligence and strength of will. I thought I would never see her again. But now before my very eyes is the girl I love. Tears well up in my eyes. I want to embrace her right this instant. Takes everything I have to resist the urge. Don't forget, this is our first meeting. This Karisu doesn't know me. I heard a strange sound from the roof. Is that why the building shook just now? What's going on? It's not Dr. Nakabachi's doing, is it? Why did I have to run into Karisu of all people? I can't answer. I'm afraid that if I speak, I'll be unable to contain my emotions. The memory of her last smile is burned into my mind, imploring me to act. Are you listening? You're sweating like crazy. Karisu looks at me with suspicion. What would happen if I were to grab Karisu and run? Would diversions change? Would her murder be averted? I recall all the times Mayuri died. I recall all the all the times I time leaped to save her. Everything I tried ended in vain. I was unable to save her even once. No matter what I did, the world itself killed her. Won't it be the same for Karisu? Should I even try? I reached toward Karisu, my hand shaking. Hey? She steps back in surprise and fear, clutching a manila envelope to her chest. This is our first meeting, I know that, but to me, she's still the girl I love. If I had been thinking straight a second ago, I would have realized that my plan to grab her and flee wasn't going to work. Karisu would never follow some strange man she only just met. Running isn't an option. All I could do is wait at the scene of the crime. Fighting against the urge to stay, I forced myself to turn and leave. You could have told her. You could have told her about the fork. Please, answer my question. But Karisu pursues me. Why is she so desperate to know who I am? I do look suspicious, I'll admit that. But if she thinks I'm dangerous, why would she come alone? I turn around reluctantly and meet Karisu's stare. Answer me! Can I really save you? The words catch in my throat. Can I save her? I don't know. All I know is that convergence is merciless and cruel, and that I am powerless to stop it. Can you what? I shake my head, then bolt for the stairs before Karisu can react. Wait! Stop! When I make it back to the 8th floor, the presentation has already started. I peek in through the door at the assembly hall. Who the hell am I? Someone who knows you are a fraud, that's who! Someone in the audience is shouting at Dr. Nakabachi. And that someone is me. Now I remember, I confronted Dr. Nakabachi in the middle of the presentation. I called him a fraud for ripping off John Titor's post. From this angle, I look like a real asshole. Someone throw that man out! Staff members approach. Damn, this is embarrassing. But there's nothing I can do here. I need to leave before Krisu appears. I turn around and head deeper into the dim passage. And that's where we're going to be ending the episode for today. So, thoughts and opinions. Well, this is going to be interesting to see how it goes. So I wasn't actually expecting us to have such a limited resource as, gas for the damn time machine. And so I was thinking we'd have a little bit more leeway with that, but I guess that puts us on a more linear path with the story, don't it? The question is, I'm thinking maybe it has to be Dr. Nakabachi that does something here, because the whole thing that happened before was his presentation got canceled, so, none of that happened, and right now, she's asking, did Dr. Nakabachi do something, I think it seems like, she already suspects him of something, so if she confronts him about it and he, kills her, then that might be the source of it all. And so it's the only thing that would make sense anyway. Plus, he has a sprite. I mean, that seems like really important for some guy who just showed up for like a few minutes at the beginning, right? But the only thing I can figure is that we have to shove her in the time machine. Take her away from the possibility of the world killing her whatsoever. Take her away from time itself. That would have to cause a change, right? But then we would be ditching Suzuha, wouldn't we? Because I think there's only room for about 2 people. It's so tight. But we'll have to wait and see. So, we'll see what happens next time. So until then, like and subscribe if you want to, and thank you for watching.